just talk about the trade? What's the reason why you decided to?
You know, we needed to make some changes with our forwards. It sounds like a little bit of a broken record, but Becca's going to be healthy next year, so we feel really good about our goaltending. Shea Weber, Romaniosi, Steph Jones, Burgess, Ellis, Ekholm. We're really happy with our defense. Goal scoring has been a problem for us. You know, top line players have been on the forwards have been a problem for us. I think we got the bottom half covered off. We just need to get better at forwards. When we started this process a couple of years ago, when we traded E-Red for Phil Forsberg, we traded David Laguan this year for Kelly Yarncroc. We continued in the draft day with Kevin Fiala as our first pick, and obviously a significant trade for James Neal. We feel he's a number one line winger. We feel he's a goal scorer, and that's exactly what we're looking for.
What type of center do you have at center that you think could play with?
We need a top center. There's no question about that. Mike Fisher is very good. We got some young guys like Kelly Yarncroc that I mentioned, Cole Decisions, who played some games last year. Paul Gossett is a defensive center, but we need a that's next on the wish list, whether that comes in trade or free agency. It takes another year to get it. That's what we need. We have all our players are all at the right age, if you will. So I really feel good for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in the last 2 years. I really feel that we're going in the right direction. Obviously, with Peter Levitt coaching our team, we're going to be playing a little bit different style with James Neal. With the type of defense that we have, there are a lot of good offensive guys on B with Yossi, Weber, Jones, and Ellis. I think we're moving in the right direction to get ourselves back in the playoffs and back to the Stanley Cup.
Did you talk to anyone about a trade for a center heater at the draft? Or?
I have to tell you that.
You can if you want. You have to be specific.
I mean, I've been pretty clear that that's what we're looking for, yes. And so, you know, whether I can get it or not, I don't know that. Like I say, I'm patient. I think we got a little bit of a window of time here to do that. I'd like to do it sooner than later, but we've got to make the right trade.
In your research on Neal, and you're close with Ray Shero, you're obviously close with Dan Bosman. Can you talk to either one of those guys?
I think we did a good research on Neal and head player. I think we know real well from our scouts, and we were prepared to make the deal.
Are you any concerned with his production without playing with Malkin?
You know, I just looked at that a little bit. I mean, there's so many stats out now in analytics, what have you. I mean, his record is actually it's excellent with Malkin, who's isn't, and it's also actually very good without Malkin. I mean, he's got what we're looking for. He's got the speed, he's got the shot, he scores goals, he produces, he gets points. I get it that we don't have Malkin or Crosby or what have you, but we're going to have some good center icemen. We're going to find somebody that can play with them.
Do you have the budget in free agency to go after one of the bigger centers? Maybe one
American that you know really well.
We will do what's ever necessary to be competitive.
So you have some flexibility financially?
Yes, absolutely.
Have you spoken to James?
Yeah, I did just for a couple of minutes. It was so loud in there; it was not the right place. I just talked a couple minutes to him. I would call him up when the draft was over. Peter Levitt went out of the bowl area and acquired a place, and he talked to him a little bit, so maybe he'll tell you a little more.
Did you speak with Patrick or Nick at all?
Yeah, I spoke to both of them. Again, very short conversations in a very loud position. Patrick, it's 2 o'clock in the morning there, so he got out of bed. But again, really. As I told you, my brothers, we're getting really good people. I mean, Patrick's a heart and soul guy, and he scored a lot of goals also, in a little bit different way than James Neal. And again, he's going to have the luxury, if you will, with playing with probably a Malkin or Crosby too. So I think this is, we always say, you guys are going to say the same thing, but I think it's a good trade. They wanted to change things up also, and Spalling's an improving player, and he's a versatile player. So we're happy, and I think they're happy. And if that's the way it turns out, then that's a good trade. What I told Jimmy today is that I knew we were getting close, but I said I'm getting nervous about this because these are guys that you don't really want to give up. But I knew I had to give up something to get this. To get to James Neal, and it feels like the right thing to do right now.
Neal's had a couple of suspensions. Are there any red flags with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm aware of how he plays or what have you. I mean, I like taking players for what they are and what they do. I'm not big on trying to change players. If I wanted to change a guy, I probably wouldn't trade for him. I mean, I think there's strengths and there's weaknesses, and maybe it's a little bit of bad habits or what have you. But I think that's one of the things that makes James Neal pretty good is he plays hard all the time.
How exciting was it? What was the mood at the table? Put it that way. That you got to acquire a player like James Neal and not give up a first-round pick to do it.
Well, I think it was very important. We also didn't have to disturb our young defense, which I think was part of the game plan. And, because we wanted, all those things were, possibly coming into play in this deal and other deals, and I think we're in a good position to have some flexibility to go forward to maybe acquire a center iceman if he's available either through free agency or a trade.
Were you happy with getting Fiala at 11?
Yes, very happy. I mean, everybody again says that they've been doing this for a lot of years. Our guy was still there, all that stuff. But our guys identified him early. I think that he could be. This is going to be a big mistake. He could be a special player. I mean, our guys see things in him that think that he could be very, very, very good. Again, center ice position, very hard player, competitive player, makes things happen. Plays his best when the game's on the line, scores. There's a lot of things to like about this player. I think maybe his exposure was not quite as much as other players. Maybe he did play in the big tournaments, he did play in the World Championship, things like that. But he's got some special qualities to him that I'm really hoping to look back in the next 3 or 4 years that. So this is one of our best drafts.
Do you see Forsberg and Yarncroft ready to take that next step?
Well, we hope, but we got to be smart about it. I mean, Yarncroft played really good for us with 11 games, and he looked like a player that could play in the National Hockey League. Forsberg wasn't quite ready to play. We pushed him a little early. That might have been our mistake. Like to say that I have good patience and want to do the right thing, but we're trying to get more offense into our lineup. I'm hoping a good summer, hard work, a little bit of maturity, maybe again a little bit different system with under Peter here that he may be able to make our lineup. I mean, the future is there with a lot of these guys. Forsberg, Yarncroft, now Neal, other younger guys. We get in there, we'll be where we need to be offensively.
My apologies if I jumped in a little bit, but Spalling and what's the scouting report on them?
Spalling and Harquist?
Yes.
Spalling is he's an improving player. We drafted him as a center, but we've used him both on wing and center. Defensively, really sound, kills penalty, and his stats have been getting better every year. So I think a very valuable, very useful player. Hornquist is a heart and soul type of player, plays hard every night, game in, game out, goes to the dirty areas, goes to the hard areas, takes physical abuse. I mean, it's a really different type of players that the Penguins don't have, and I think the high-end talent that they have, this is a perfect fit for them also.
What did we'll get Peter up here.
Skilled. They're all skilled. Some big, some smaller, but they're all highly skilled. Is that where the game is going? That you guys need? Every team needs to have those kind of guys. They saw with Chicago and LA and Boston.
I think so. It's a go-go game. There's a lot of speed in the game. And, there's a premium on skating and skill. And I guess we